What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy, my Luciferian Prince, coming to you once again. I would like to touch on the subject of redemption because I think that now more than any other time in history, it is more important to focus on the concept of redemption and what redemption really means. Before I proceed, for the opportunists and the people who wish to come in the comment section and try to debate the issue about the concepts in which I place on my channel, I will say this before I proceed. Do one of two things. A, start your own channel and present your own facts, not opinion, facts, on what the concept of redemption really is. And second, have identifiable status in regards to what you present to people. Other than that, your arguments are nil. So those people in the comment section who have a problem with the presentation of the redemption process, please do. I encourage you to go ahead and do your thing. I'm not here to argue with people. I'm not here to debate the issues about the significance of the redemption process. So before I proceed, let me say that this is not legal advice. This does not constitute legal advice. The sole information is for educational and informational purposes only. Let me validate that real quick for some people who wish to wordplay, have tricks with verbiage. I don't have time to play games. Now, for the audience at large, those people who are the majority, the redemption process is more so important today than it is at any other time in history, because I think that most people don't really interpret the systematic indifference to redemption and how the system wishes to either obfuscate it or to mislead. And they have people on these YouTube channels that mislead you as well. Now, in regards to that, what you have to really realize is that the redemption process is one of those processes that are very arduous and very hard because it takes a lot of education to apply it. And sometimes for those people who actually obtain degrees and have had degrees in certain realms of the public knowledge, they know for a fact that what I'm saying is very correct. Most lawyers, most statesmen, most politicians deal with civics. They know exactly what it is. Now, the underlying meaning to what the redemption process is, we'll get there at a later point. But let us not get too tangled up and let's stay focused on the main agenda. The main agenda is for most people to understand their status is how it's recognized. Before I proceed, I'm also going to say this though. People who actually ask me via email to help them with their status, let me say something. Please don't waste my time. Don't waste my time with the indifferences that you deal with in your personal life and come and be correct. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain. I have a life to live. I can't sit here and delay myself based upon people's premeditated delays in their own personal life. I won't be encumbered by that. I will never allow myself to be encumbered by that, and I will keep moving. One thing for sure and two things for certain. If I come to you today, come to me today. If you don't have the significant energy, so to speak, then I have to move on. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people who know me personally know that I'm a very decent person. But most people take advantage of that. And that's one thing I'm not going for today. Not today. So when you come at me correct. Simple. And moving on. So now on to the next point. In regards to the redemption process, a lot of people really need to get to the basis of what it really is. And it's not about making $1 million bonds, exchanging negotiable instruments such as tax items and so forth and so on. What it really is changing your status to being your own personal banker in regards to your own private commercial affairs. In a socialistic, capitalistic venue, as we call the United States, for those people who want to argue the United States, we the people, yeah, you are the one that's footing the bill for this whole operation. So yes, you're absolutely right. We the people. But in reality, what you really have to understand is that the concept is embedded in the ingrained sense of being a creditor. Being a creditor, being one that actually has possessable and transmittable property. If things are in contemplation of law as transmittable property, what people need to understand is that the transmission comes from the energy, the transference to give it away, meaning your consent. That's the only way you can transmit your energy in commerce. So a lot of people have the concepts that have been given down to other people in these other channels that state particularly misleading pretenses. Really, it's you redeeming yourself from the commercial system until you realize the status in the redemption process in civics in regards to your status here in this country. You will never get these concepts. Some people embed the ideology in their channels and their information. They make you think that it seems so hard, and it's not. It's very simple. And I'm here to simplify it. The simple part is just that you take the commercial energy away from the entity that wishes to impede upon your life, i.e., the government. And I think that today, especially now, because people are looking for a remedy, they don't know where to find one. Well, I can assure you, bona fide and hands down certified, I have the actual remedy. I use it myself. I am the redemption process. Now, the ideology behind the redemption process comes from different variants and different standpoints. How people feel about the redemption process, how people view the redemption process, how people see their status or their identification in regards to the actual usage of it. What it is just simply this. Whether you are Anglo-Saxon, whether you're Nubian, whether you are West Indian, it doesn't matter. Your status in this country is always going to be looked at as citizen. So as a citizen, you have to do what citizens do, which is from the Roman Curia. The ideology behind that is the simple fact that you must understand that you're looked at as a non-colorable personage, non-compos mentis before the law. So you don't know what legal process really is. The concepts behind that means that you basically don't know what business is in this country, and you don't know how to redeem yourself from the processes of it. So if you are a Nubian, or you're a Caucasoid, or you are a West Indian, or whatever you wish to call yourself, and you go sign for a mortgage loan, you're not looked at as that entity on that paperwork. On that paperwork, you're looked at as what? A person. In legal terminology, means an individual, partnership, or corporation. Now, since you are an individual, or a partnership, or a corporation, you are basically looked at now in law as without proper standing, non-compos mentis. So it doesn't matter what your angle is in regards to you looking at the processes. The angle is, how does it affect the judicial system, which wishes to take you out of your house, for your loans, for whatever it is that you have going on in your personal life. Now, things get deeper, because most people who actually deal with the redemption processes deal with it from a soft approach. They deal with it from a soft approach in the channels that actually don't alleviate the confusions amongst the population of people. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is there's a lot of people out there who don't know how to redeem themselves from the commercial system. They don't. And until you change your status, and until you change your standing in law, you're never going to get the concept behind the redemption process. You're not. And until you step outside your biases and your prejudices, you're not going to get the ideology behind the redemption process. Now, people have left comments to me in regards to the pandemic or the scenario that they wish to redeem themselves from. Listen, I will never expound that information over the airways, because I'm smarter than that. And I know that sometimes you have to basically limit yourself in regards to certain information, because It's like a floodgate. So if you wish to know the ideology behind that, please contact me and be legit. Don't come at me half-assed because I'm a real person. It's simple. I don't have time to play with games. I don't have time to play with indifferences. I don't have time to play with people scraping at the bottom. I don't have time for that. A lot of stuff I will eliminate. But if you want the information, please contact me. Please make yourself known and also schedule yourself in regards to this. Because before, I would be liberal and free. I'm not liberal. I'm apolitical. But I would be liberal with my information to expound it to many people, but most people took my kindness for weakness. And that's one of the things that don't settle with me well. Because no matter what people may have think they have gotten from me, trust me, you never will get the whole secret in regards to that. If I know that you are a slight angle person, if you're real with me, I'll be real with you. And in that process, in that technique, I speak what I speak today. And today, more so than ever, now that most people don't really understand the concepts behind redemption, it needs to be expounded upon. It needs to be touched upon base by base and piece by piece. So that's what I vow to do. And if indeed people wish to reach out for this information wholesale, so to speak, wholesale, I definitely will do that. I am a businessman. I'm a person who's basically inclined more so to the enabling of people to do their own thing. And many people will tell you in the comment sections that they have had successes. So this is not one of those channels where I need you, your money, your funds, your money, your thing. You know, I'm pretty all right. And in the concepts of that, let me just speak to the masses of people, not the minority, who are basically watching my channel looking for opportunity. I'll say this. I'm anti-government. As far as the established government, I'm apolitical, but I also do recognize my status in this country. And I recognize my status in this country as being an individual more. An individual more is an individual who has no affiliation with no groups, no political, socio-economic groups whatsoever. I get no funding from any non-denominational entity whatsoever or an interdenominational entity. I am simply just myself here, and I'm not lost at sea for the maritime ideology that's behind the practices of law. So I am that I am. And my creator only gave me that, enabled me to basically be where I am today. So long story short, it's no game here. So people who have game or people actually who want to try to shortchange things, trust me, I'll tell you what, I have zero tolerance for that. My ideology is to basically spread knowledge in a short period of time and to let more people know about the concepts behind the redemption process. If you wish to know about the redemption process, please contact me. Until then, I will say this: peace, blessings to those who wish curses to me, and all I can say is that light speed to those people who are crashing because they have lack of knowledge. No doubt. I love y'all. Peace. And agents, you know what it is.